This is the American Rebellion. My name's Jerry. How y'all doing? Here with Nikki Young and the indubitable David Novi. I don't really know what indubitable means, but I like that word. Got Larry Burns from Canada. Yeah. Jolene Kirkland Foster, David Novi, and Nikki Young. Well, there you go. 4 people, 4 comments. Finally, now there's 6. Okay. All right. So how you doing, Dave?
I'm pretty good. Got a good little drenching today, this afternoon, later in the afternoon. Thought the bottom fell out, flooded immediately. But now the sun's shining, so till tomorrow.
Yeah,
we'll do it all over again.
Poured like hell here about 1:30, 1:45. It's all right now. Dave, we'll try you again. How you? Is it that?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Hanging in there. You know what you said, but I didn't hear that part about the indubitable part. But yes, I'm often imitated, but never duplicated.
And there's a reason for that, Dave. But it's okay. All right. So let's see. You got Dave Rougeau showed up. How you doing, Dave? And Kevin Bearden.
Could be tricky.
I'm on Skype.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yes.
You guys take like 5 minutes to answer any question I ask. Larry Burns says it's still baking here. It's 108 today. I bet. I think. Imagine if 25 years ago the government admitted that UFOs exist. What's the difference? They didn't actually tell anybody anything. They admit they exist. Big deal. Okay. And anybody got an opinion on that here on the show?
Well, I don't think people would have been going batshit crazy like they proclaimed that everybody would. You know, everybody would say, okay, you know, we have worse in this world. The only thing, like I mentioned before, the only thing I think would do it is open up a can of worms is why they've been hiding it for decades, and then they'd have to answer a whole bunch of questions. A whole lot of other things would have to be answered about people disappearing and all kinds of crazy shit. So that's what they're trying to avoid. And they don't want to admit about the technology.
I think most reason.
Why are we still using fossil fuels? Why are we still squirting stuff out the back to go forward?
I think that most reasonable people realize that of the thousands upon thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of sightings and reports, not all of them are hoaxes. So there may or may not be, I don't think is that big a deal to the majority of people in the country. And then when you put out a report that says, we don't know what it is, the first thing that comes to mind is they know exactly what it is, but they don't want to tell us. And the second thing comes to mind is they let stuff out of the bag, you know, and then don't bother to really explain it. Let's see, Daryl Rector's here. Hello, Daryl. So I don't know. I am in the camp that I believe it would be foolish to think we are the most evolved species in the entire universe. I think that's a little silly. The military verified they are real on radar and other places. Yes, I know that. I know. What the question is, once you verify you have an actual UFO, which is an unidentified flying object, could be anything, then you have to figure out what the hell it is. Wow, the drag must suck on this show. Nobody's answering. All right, how bad is the drag, guys?
On a scale of about an 8.
Okay, let me hang up and try to come back on.
Did he ask about the feed?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, let me hang up and try back.
Right back.
Yeah, it's on Skype, Kevin, not on the feed so far. Hold on. See what they're talking about while we're not here. Oh, look at that. They hung up too. Okay. Trying again.
Energize.
Is this any better?
Back.
Is this? We're doing a show, Matt.
Oh.
It's been in all the papers.
Here comes the peanut gallery.
Yeah. How you doing?
Hey, Matt.
Is it any better, Nick and Dave?
This is Tuesday.
I know what day it is, but thanks. You don't have to.
It's still a little choppy, but let's let it go. Let's see what happens.
All right.
Not as bad. I can tell you that.
All right. All right. How you doing, Matt?
Thanks for you, Matt.
Yeah, this is going well.
What's new, Matt? What's new with you, Matt?
Just doing a little projectications stuff. A little woodworkage.
No skill saws involved, right?
Not today.
Not today. All right.
These are easy bake oven tools.
I took a bar.
I'm gonna get some feet for the buy that the wife got yesterday. Feet were worn out, so I have to fabricate feet for it.
I took apart 9 or 10 pallets today. Why, Pallet Buster? Loving the Pallet Buster. All right. Well, somebody say something. I would rate this call sucky. Let's see, audio issues. The other side could not hear any sound. Here. There you go. And we join the call again. Everybody is having a good time.
I think you get a shot of penicillin for this.
Penicillin. What was the discussion tonight as I was coming in? About the UFO government report. Yeah, we weren't talking about UFOs, Matt.
They came out with not much about it. Am I right? They say shit.
I agree. What do you think, Dave?
What? I don't know if I heard the question, but yeah, I believe it's easy to say, something about UFOs because UFOs can be anything, And the idea is to come out and say that there's actual technology being used by otherworldly or other dimensional beings. So if that's what you're asking me. That's a big difference to say one thing or the other.
So, in other words, there was no big revelation about anything that I haven't seen shit about.
Yeah. I didn't see any people jumping out of windows. People still got to get up and go to work in the morning. You still got to pay your taxes. So,
I have a question. It has nothing to do with this. In my 57 years, I have never once and would like to know what the fuck is hammer throwing?
Well, it's like a big, it's like a big shot put on the end of a chain, so to speak, and they spin around as fast as they can, and
you let it go.
And let it go and fly through the air, kind of like discus, but with a big ass ball throwing on a chain.
Centrifugal force type of thing.
Was this invented by a prisoner?
The same motion is like the shot put and the discus and the hammer, or similar technique.
Well, did a prisoner invent this? Like a ball, chain gang guy or something? I mean, I've never heard of this. And this is what this chick who came in third fucking place?
Yeah. Yeah, you can spin and spin so you can build up the force, and it's one thing to like throw a discus or a shot put. You only have your arm muscles, but this thing you can use centrifugal force and spin around and build up more force before you let it go.
No, Dave, it's centripetal force, not centrifugal force.
You say potato, I say potato.
There's no P in that. Now, the problem is if they trip.
Yes, it is.
Their ass is going out the circle.
Centripetal force is the force forcing things outwards. Centrifugal is inward.
Okay, well,
the spin thing.
Or I might be full of shit. You might be totally bad.
It's the spinning thing.
Yeah. The spin thing, right?
Yeah, it's the thing.
Like inverse and transverse, either one, it means both ways, in or out.
I'll have to check that out later.
So this chick comes in third place and does what she does, and no one's talking about the girl that threw it the farthest. I assume that wins. I gotta tell you, this did.
I posted her today.
Did you? Okay. What's her name?
Yeah. That's a good question. I forgot already. Hold on, let me check.
It's like Gwen something or another.
No, I think Gwen was.
Somewhere.
I think Gwen's the one who showed her ass. Deanna. Yeah.
Deanna Price.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good, Dave. That's good. Flag draped over, like running down a track or something. Is that her?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, this chick. How is it that we can allow this? I'm sorry. You know, it's like I was telling my wife. I'm an asshole, but in situations, you learn how to act and you act accordingly. You know, third place is second loser. It's not like you have done anything to break anything, and you're up there acting like an ass. How do we allow this? I don't give a damn about the Bill of Rights. When you're representing your country, you don't act this fucking way.
So she thought it was all about her.
Apparently.
You can represent the U.S. You represent the U.S. You don't go there and just try to show your ass.
I agree.
Because she was never going to be in the Olympics anyway.
No, she's
two big white chicks. I bet they could throw a hammer more. They could throw her further than she could throw that hammer. So.
Yeah, but
she
they
failed miserably, but she needed to make her point across.
That's the only reason she was there. That was her whole point. We needed some commies, some commie haters.
Yeah, but they said she's on the Olympic team. I read an article today.
American haters.
I read an article today
Yeah.
saying she is the Olympic team. Because I can't understand why a small percentage of citizens stir up so much crap. Do this shit because of what they believe in. They do it because they think it's fun. I don't get why we allow this. Other countries don't allow this shit. Why are we?
And we're all woke all of a sudden.
Not me.
Yeah, but what the fuck that's supposed to mean?
I'm woke enough to where...
So he doesn't know what's going to make these people happy. Nothing's going to make them happy. They want to bitch. They want to play the race card. They want freebies. They want to hate white people. That's all this is about.
I mean, she acts... And she just... I mean... Really?
Well, it wasn't even for her. Because she came in third. It was kind of like for the winner of the event, you know? And is supporting America.
I don't know. In a sport that big fucking pro, the person who came in fourth couldn't have been much worse than her. Oh,
You have to show the way it is.
I don't know. Everybody acts like she's on the Olympic team. I don't know. They're all saying kick her off the Olympic team.
That was U.S. trials. That has nothing to do with the Olympics. You have to
Okay.
be the first to get to the Olympics.
She shouldn't even have it. She shouldn't even be able to apply to represent the country after what she's doing. Hey, Robert Wood.
Robert Wood, how are you? I think they must teach each one another that America is bad. The press teaches them, the government teaches them. It's something I truly do not understand. I would never, ever, I don't care how pissed off I was, I would never get up and do that. You're representing your country. I don't know.
No, Jerry, I've had to salute that flag so many times in my life. That would never cross my fucking mind.
I agree. And I think everybody loses sight of well, not everybody, but the people doing this lose sight of the fact that because they're in America, they can do this. I mean, you live in some places and pulled that shit in the Olympics. They got back.
Or hang you.
Yeah, some.
You're lucky if they just send you back to the limit. At best, hitting Russia. Do that shit in China, Japan. Your ass ain't.
Billion 10. I don't know.
Because of these pansy ass politicians we have with the government that allow this shit to happen. And, we didn't have this shit, a decade ago or so. We never heard of all this bullshit. Now, all of a sudden, since actually Obama got in office, that's when all this racism shit started. You never heard about it before. Started all this bullshit.
After what happened with like Jesse Owens,
they claim it's Trump.
Yeah.
Trump deals with it.
They talk about like Jesse Owens. He went and embarrassed the German Empire, and it was great, But he went through a lot of shit to get there. I don't remember the two guys' names. The two black guys raised their fists. I kind of get that. I'm seeing these days is a bunch of spoiled little brats who really being racist toward them. They're highly trained athletes competing to represent the United States of America, or they're professional athletes, or they're whatever, and they're acting this way. It's an embarrassment to themselves and, more importantly, to the rest of us. And I, for one, have had enough.
Yeah, it's a total. Totally supported this stupid bitch doing this crap.
Well, of course they
You know,
did.
they said, "Oh yeah, that's just fine. We support her." You know, that's hypocritical, and racist.
Of course it is, because that's the number one problem in America is white administration. Half the time, Joe's running around looking for his fucking lollipop. On his show. Don't know if that's true or not, but it sure sounds like it's something they would do. Is Bubba Wallace still racing, Kevin? I don't even know.
Turn on the news. Because they're failing miserably. At this point, their ratings are just tanking. How they even stay alive is beyond me. But all they're still doing is trying to they're attacking them more. They won't do it. Just like this, they hell with it, New York or whatever the fuck it was, Marine or a line of fire and get shot. They that whole shooting, you know, all these networks, 20 seconds.
Yeah, of course.
Total.
And 2 hours on gun control.
Because it doesn't fit the narrative.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, I am of the opinion that any type of control doesn't really work. Because there's always people, like, you know, you one mission, nobody followed that. Nobody's going to follow gun control. You're not going to clean all the guns up in this country. And that's from legal people. You're certainly not going to do it from the criminals. So
Well, you asked him what
Picking at them and picking at them until they're all gone. That's what they're trying to do.
that's, yeah.
get rid of assault rifles, you know.
And then they're attacking the magazines, what kind of stock it can have. Then they're throwing them with the add-ons and the peripherals. Oh, they look scary.
Yeah, they're nitpicking as to
Yeah.
what they might. There's just, you know, you fucking can't do it. But they'll try like hell. And with our current goddamn
In court.
Muzzle loader. I said, what?
Well, yeah, Biden straight up said, you know, and he pulls in joke, but he straight up says, you know, back in the day, people couldn't go out and buy cannons. Wrong answer there, Jack Wagon. People could go buy cannons.
Yeah, you could.
So Biden don't know what the shit he's talking about. Of course.
Well, they 15 is not an assault rifle. Okay. They know it. But that's what they're calling it to make it sound big and mean. So for those of us who do know, it's well, now it's old and boring, but it was a joke when it started. It's like, well, you got to be kidding me, right? Military weapons of war, an AR-15. People in the military use it. Can't really have a gun on the base, and if on the base, it had to stay in the armory. So you weren't even allowed to have a knife in the room. I had a K-bar and a buck knife, and they didn't go looking for this shit, but still.
Yeah, and hence now we have these nut jobs who walk onto a base and start shooting up goddamn soldiers because nobody can defend himself. So like all these gun-free zones, nobody can defend himself.
Well, for the most part, I think
Take away guns from the innocent people. The criminals are going to always have guns. You're never going to, it's all. We need more stringent background checks. Well, the last gun I bought was a shotgun. Did background check my ass for a shotgun, and I mean it was extensive. And I had to fill out all kind of fucking paperwork for a shotgun. I never had to do that before.
Yeah. Well,
there's extensive background checks.
There's background check.
Yeah. One every goddamn 2 years.
Yep.
I go through a federal background check every goddamn 2 years, state and federal, to keep my job. So I'm gonna pass.
Remember they had that. Wasn't it on a Navy base or something? They shot up. I think they might have changed rules about recruiting stations. They might be able to carry in recruiting stations now because it's a soft target, and it's it'd be a high profile target too. I'm not sure, but I think I might have heard something about it.
I'll bet half of them got a 9mm in their freaking desk drawer, though.
Oh, it might not be on their person, but I bet it's in the room somewhere.
Yeah.
Easily accessible.
I don't know.
But I know what you're talking about, man. I heard the same thing.
Some Navy depots a couple of years ago. I can't remember where it was.
Yeah.
Well, there's been a few recruiting officers shot up. I don't know if they changed the rules or not, but the last time I remember having a weapon in the barracks that was mine to use was in boot camp when you had your M16. Um, and it was cabled and locked to the rack. And you didn't have nobody had any bullets, so it was just a hunk of metal hanging there. But you would take it down and go use it for drill and stuff. The only time you ever had live rounds, was when you were physically on the rifle range, shooting down range, and then they would only give you the amount of rounds that you needed for that. Like you do it 100 yards, 200 yards, and 500 yards, and you would practice for a day or 2 or 3 days, and then the fourth day you would go and qualify, and for each distance you'd get 5 rounds, and they would hand them to you as that's it, and they had people watching. There was a story, it was many years ago, some guy went nuts on the right, shooting people, and so one of the range officers killed him. So Virginia Pollock says, from everything I've been reading and exploring, it's likely that 2022 may be a Republican turnaround. There may be more normal citizens than leftists out there, I hope. Here's the problem.
Meanwhile, they're flooding us with more illegals.
And there, I don't see a lot of change. It's already starting. If you want this, we'll stop it, blah, blah, blah. They do it every freaking election cycle. And when they do manage to win, they do nothing. Okay? I wonder if that counts from back when we were in high school when I was playing baseball for school. Oh, I don't know. What do they say now about woke? Nope, they're already woke now. They're pissed, in my opinion. I don't know what the hell that means, Larry. Yeah, okay, Kevin. That's not what he meant. It's not what he meant. Everybody's saying that. There's certain shit that people glom onto that, there's enough crap that the Biden administration is doing to this country right now. That right there is the least of it. I mean, he's fucking up the border. He's fucking up the country. Back into the Iran deal. He's already back in the Paris Climate Accords. It's all a fallacy for America to go broke. Daryl Rector, honestly, I believe that when shit finally goes so far sideways at no point of return, we're all going to be fighting just to stay alive. They attack electric, food, communications. What is our biggest communication as a United States citizen? Social media. Okay. Social media. They'll shut that down in a second. And they'll pay Zuckerberg and all these guys. They'll pay them to do it.
Oh, y'all see, of course, liberal judges, New York City, make up a grand jury. So this guy, William Scott, was charged in White Plains instead of a more diverse Manhattan division. So this black dude goes and shoots up something. At the time, they were stopping all court cases, but they moved it to this White Plains instead of keeping it in Manhattan. So they could form a grand jury of diversity. So this judge, Judge Annalisa Torres, sided with
It's
defendant.
supposed to be a jury of your peers.
So that's the whole point of this story. So that returned an indictment against just overturns it. Now the prosecutors can actually revisit it within 60 days. But this is the shit we're dealing with.
So they're saying, depending on the makeup of the jury, is that is so fucked up.
Yeah, how racial is that?
Yeah.
That's his race. Right there. The jury has to be made up of. So, yeah, because they moved it to a suburb somewhere, which was predominantly white, apparently, which found this fool apparently guilty and they indicted him. No, that was racist, so we have to just, vacate. No bond, no bail, no nothing. Just let the motherfuckers out,
Listen, that is actually shocking that a judge can do that. I had no idea a judge could stop a fucking
oath of office right there.
Stop a trial because of the racial makeup of the fucking jury.
Yeah. This, and I think this was like a Obama appointed judge or something in New York City, federal judge. But of course, black and Hispanic.
So now you're going to have a racially divided.
Right.
Who's going to get this boy off the hook?
Yeah. It's just like, and when I read this story, I read the comments, and there was a woman whose husband was a doctor, and she said, people will sue for malpractice nonstop, and she said her husband. In the medical field,
Right.
What's going on and can make a good decision on can't pick race to
No,
decide
that's
this
what the
fool
lawyer.
shot somebody.
They're saying one thing, your lawyer says another, and then that's where you get to the truth. Not stacking the deck by splitting up the jury.
You like jurors because of who's on trial. You know, you got a doctor on trial. You better, but you get a black guy that's on trial. You better have, you know, at least a quarter or, you know, a third of black people on the jury just to make it even, so to speak. But that's not the way it works. Not how jury selection works.
Well, it's like opening up a can of worms for sure.
Yes, there's going to be lawsuits everywhere over this nonsense.
And people for not too long wanting people that are already in jail wanting retrials.
It's just going to. I went to trial. They found me guilty and sent me to prison for life. You know, there was, you know, the 10 white people and 2 black people, or 1 black person and 1 Hispanic. You know, it's off kilter. We need a retrial because it wasn't even.
Well,
That's
I thought
exactly
the jury
what's
was
gonna
just supposed to be made up of Americans. Yeah. What happened to that part? You've got
Yes, that was the whole point.
12
of the whole
Americans.
Story.
Doesn't
It's
matter
Americans.
the color, you know.
The whole story is racist. That's just the way it turns out. The whole story is
joined
racist.
us. Hey, Stephen.
Well, it used to be how many women or how many men.
What does Matt think of this?
What happens if it's a transgender person? And
Yeah.
are we going to be? Are they going to be
Not too
stopping?
much, I'm sure.
Are they going to be stopping
Well,
trials?
Let you guys, you know.
Are they going to be stopping trials if a transgender person doesn't get at least 6 transgenders on the jury?
Well, you know,
What?
And they have to prove
Yeah.
it. They have to be able to prove it too if they're transgender.
Nick, the point of you can't have a jury of all doctors siding a doctor's case because that could be definitely biased in favor of the doctor. That's why they don't do shit like that. That's not the way a jury or peers is supposed to work.
Right. You're supposed to listen to the prosecutor and the lawyer, and the judge is there as a referee. That's the way it's supposed to go.
Well, yeah, I understand that, man, but turn it around and say, you know, it's a white guy, and it's all white people on the jury. Is it biased? Same thing.
That never happens. That
Color's
doesn't
not
happen
even
either way.
supposed to
It
come
doesn't
into the
happen that way.
color's not even supposed to be brought into the picture.
They try to have. That's a bias. That's a breeding ground for bias right there. Same way with your doctor example. Of course, they may favor the doctor because they're thinking, "Oh shit, therefore I go instead of him."
Yep. And that's the other side of the coin.
Yeah, but like in this case, you know, it's a black guy. He's probably I don't know if he's a returned criminal or what. So what do you get? Criminals out of jail because they're equal to him? They're his peers. Are they the ones that are going to decide the case? Because they're experienced in crime?
You're taking the word peer literally. It doesn't mean a gang of criminals on the jury. No.
No, but you get a black guy on trial, and his peers are white people. You got 12 jurors that are all white. That's his peers, right? Why
They
can't
wouldn't
it?
have a
Why
jury
can't
that's
it
all
be
white. They don't do that. They don't. No fucking defense attorney would allow that to happen.
Why not?
Because it could be biased right from the get-go. The defense attorney is not going to allow that.
Well, then the whole thing is screwed up.
Yeah, that's my
Then
point.
the whole thing's screwed up then.
The whole premise of having a jury of your peers is not a jury of your peers. It's a false statement.
All right. If you want to go to the literal definition of peers, but that's not what it means.
Peers
Well,
is
I know
supposed
what you mean.
Peers is supposed to be an
Peers
American
is
fellow
people who live
American
around you.
fellow American
From
citizens.
the area which you come from.
Peers means another American citizen. They're usually from a pool in the county, or if it's in the federal court, then could be from that county, but it's usually people from the county you live in, or the county where the trial is going to take place.
Right. And in this case, because of COVID, they had to move it to a different county.
All right. Okay, Nick. If you got
So it's not, but a
schizophrenic-
peer is a peer. I mean,
All right,
an
you got
American
some-
is an American.
If you got some schizophrenic on trial for murder, do you have to get a jury full of all schizophrenic? By your definition?
That's not.
No, it's, if they came out of the insane asylum, I mean, that's where they live. That's their peers.
Yeah. Oh, we got a crazy jury here today.
This all started
It's gonna be a
because
shit show.
this whole conversation started because Nick brought up a judge that stopped the trial because she didn't like the makeup of the jury because there weren't enough black people on it. That means that she is a racist piece of shit and doesn't trust white people to give a fair fucking assessment of whatever the evidence is to come to a verdict. Okay, that's how this started. And where does this lead is, if you're transgender, you got to have some transgenders on the freaking thing. Or if you're white, you got to have some white. Or black, you got to have half black. Hispanic, you got to have half Hispanic. Instead of just normal everyday citizens coming in doing their civic duty, now we got to divide everybody by color. This opens up an entire can of fucking bullshit that it never stops. I think she overstepped her bounds, frankly.
That was my entire point, Gary.
Yeah. She's overstepped her bounds, and somebody's going to let her get away with it.
Yeah, if you're going to say a jury of their peers, you need to be specific of what exactly that means. Not just this woman, this judge said color. That was her point. That was the peers of this guy that was being on trial. But peers can be judged as anything. Peers in your neighborhood, peers in your professional field, you name it. It can go in any way you can twist it. That's the point here.
The problem is
lawsuits ass.
the
Turning this shit around
Yeah.
everywhere.
The problem is that you said the word twisted, and twisted means just exactly what we're hearing. It's going to be based on race. It's going to be based, if this continues, on sexual preference or gender preference, or it could go in a completely insane direction, which is why peers has always meant, hey, the guy down the road, the guy lives 3 blocks away, and none of them really know you or know you at all. Don't really know your friends, don't know anything about you, and hopefully they're not lying when they said they've never heard of the case. So they can come in there and listen to the evidence and decide if the prosecution has a good enough case to convict this person or the defense has proven reasonable doubt. We start on this trail, it's just going to get worse.
Go any way imaginable, depending on the situation, depending on who the person is is on trial, because they can come up with any goddamn excuse to have a new jury. I mean, just anything, doesn't matter. There'd be something wrong every damn time.
Yeah, and our court systems are way too backed up and corrupt now. We don't need any more help with that. I don't know. That's actually shocking that she would do that. I'm sorry. That's just wrong. Criminals and go around shooting shit and doing whatever. Okay, stop it. You don't have to worry about this crap at all. You're not going to get shot by the cops. None of this shit's going to happen. And you know what? If a cop asks you to do something, just fucking do it and move on with your fucking day. You can be pissed off all you want. But while you're at the traffic stop, just do what the fuck what the fuck ever minor bullshit it is. And you fucking geniuses want to shoot a cop so that you can to murdering a fucking cop. And you think everybody's racist? What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Well, personally, with those kind of cases, I don't believe they need.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, but that's the way it works. Okay, let's stop making the criminals the victims and start making the victims the victims and start worrying about them. I don't know. I'm so fucking over all this shit. You know that? The stupidity on a daily basis is just. Now we got a guy who won Miss Nevada. And apparently is going to the Miss Universe contest or something. And he'll probably win that too because he's a transgender. How much you want to bet that moron won Miss Nevada simply because he was a transgender? Think about it. And this motherfucker is proud of his accomplishment. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, they get the whole thing now. If you're a heterosexual male that is not attracted to transgender women, you're a rape or you're a phobic. Like, you're trying to force somebody to, if you don't want to date a transsexual, there's something wrong with you.
Well, how do you be proud of winning a bike race or a weightlifting competition knowing that you're stronger than women? These morons are actually proud of their accomplishments. And the women, I don't know how the fuck you support these people. I really don't. Yeah, you're right, Nick. The jury was rigged for that guy in Vegas, but nothing but liberals, apparently. Yeah. And he's proud of it. He's going to be proud of it. Are you kidding? You're a guy. You put on some makeup and a fucking dress.
Did you see what Did you see what Stephen posted? I observed juries being picked based on the victim's skin color, and the defendant is white. Now that's pretty scary right there.
Oh, there's no doubt it happens. But for a judge to do something about it, that's beyond anything I can deal with. I'm 50, never been picked for jury duty. I used to just throw the shit in the garbage and not go. But then when I moved to Vero, it's a smaller area. So I did go. I filled out an application. They told me I could go home.
Get a letter probably by the end of the week.
So I wonder if there's any guy female hammer throwers. I wonder if they wonder, because why not? You got one bicyclist going into the Olympics as an alternative who wants to burn the American flag up on the podium. That's fucking nice. Has this sound got any better, you guys, on Skype? Apparently not.
You sound magnanimous. You sound fine. Let's hear how Jerry sounds.
Can you hear me? I assume you can't hear me. This is ridiculous.
We heard avoid that.
Okay. Thank you. So what else do we want to talk about? Their director wants to, regardless of changes to body, DNA always dictates male or female. Fuck you. Stick to your genital area. You'll suck there. And learn valuable life lessons and possibly be a productive human being. Okay. I agree. Kevin is off in his own world. I have no idea what he's talking about. Glorifying everything perverted is happening. These are things good individuals can fight. Yeah, what are we supposed to do? Go fight everybody? Me? And if I don't want to be around you, that's the way it's going to be. Because this shit is starting to it's getting old and it's getting wore out and it's just ridiculous.
It's beyond getting old. I'm the same way. I live my life, and they all go crazy with each other. It's not my problem.
Yes, I will hang around a jury of my peers.
Yeah, I'm not missing
I pick my peers.
I don't miss it one bit. Not with this kneeling and bullshit and transgender shit. And they just wrecked it. They wrecked the whole thing. The whole reason for people to watch a game has been thrown out the window.
Yes, I still like bacon. Listen, I never saw a time in my life where I wouldn't watch football, but
Products, Coca-Cola, eat more white.
yeah, I have never thought there was a time in my life where I wouldn't watch football, but I got to tell you, for the last, this will be the fifth. I don't know. I don't really keep track, but I'm good. I'll watch college football.
I think all these sports are finding out that this nonsense they're doing is hurting their bottom dollar there.
Oh, yeah.
They're seeing it. NBA, NFL, all of this nonsense. The Olympics, who knows how many people are going to actually watch that bullshit when it actually happens.
Well, they just had
Probably be the lowest viewed Olympics ever.
They just had that guy from the Raiders come out as gay, which, whatever. All right. I don't know why that makes him a fucking hero, but everybody had to comment on it. In the end, some sort of video on how the NFL is gay. I haven't watched the video, so I don't know. But that's the way it is, I guess. I'm done with this fucking
something
bullshit.
like the NFL is gay.
Yeah.
I just saw the headline, and I wasn't going to watch it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it or read it, but it's like, really? And what I love it and all this is that the NFL is doing the same thing every other major corporation in this country's doing. Pandering to the lowest common denominator so that don't get canceled, which the NFL, regardless of what they may tell you, is not doing that well. The NBA is doing even worse. So, I don't know. Did anyone hear the episode of Tucker Carlson talking about him being monitored by the NSA? I read about it today. Who knows? It doesn't sound like something that the
Saw
government.
the story, didn't watch it
Yeah,
or read it.
it doesn't sound like something the government wouldn't do. So who knows? I don't. Tucker Carlson is he will do drama, but usually he doesn't lie. I've noticed, and most of the things that he talks about are true.
Oh yeah, well his shtick was that they're trying to dig up something that they can use against him to get him off the air.
Yeah.
That's the point of what he was talking about.
Yeah.
So would they try to? Probably.
They've been trying to for like 3 years now, 4 years.
Have you said something in emails or anything that they can do? I don't know.
Probably. If I was Tucker, what I would worry about, I mean, obviously Tucker Carlson isn't giving up emails to make the NSA decide they want to track him. Somebody at Fox News did. I mean, I don't watch Tucker Carlson, all right, unless it's me. Once in a great while, I'll watch a video or something, but that's it. I personally don't care if he's on. I don't read them every day. I don't watch all the videos. I don't do any of that. But if they are spying on him, it's just as wrong as when Obama did it. Obama did the same damn thing. And my guess is probably other presidents or administrations have done the same thing. So I just, you know what it is?
Obama used the IRS to target Republicans. The whole 9 yards.
Yeah. Here's the deal with these shows. All of them are the same. They bring on these guests that are either going to agree with them or disagree with them. The agreeable ones, they get through. It's really whatever. Okay. And the ones they disagree is why people watch. So that people like Tucker Carlson will trash this person on TV. And whenever he's got somebody on that agrees with him, he gets this very concentrated look on his face, like, oh, well, I can't believe that. And in the end, it's all freaking TV is what it is. It's just for ratings. And right now, he's the king of the heap. And he gives the people, if he went to work for CNN, don't believe he wouldn't give the people what the CNN people who watch that. He'd give them what they want. That's what they're actors. They give the people what they want to get ratings and clicks and everything else. The Patriot Act is the only thing stopping them unless they file a FISA warrant. Yeah, that's not full of corruption, the FISA people. Try watching MSNBC for a day. I don't watch any of them. Why give them the ratings? It's all bullshit. Don't give them the ratings. People who watch MSNBC that are like us do it just to get pissed off and then go on Facebook and scream about it. Who gives a shit what people like Rachel Maddow have to say? I don't know.
And that's why their ratings suck so bad. I mean, their CNN, MSNBC, all of those, their ratings are tanky. I don't know how they can stay alive because how their sponsors are even hanging on and donating to these goddamn shows is beyond me.
I can't watch any of those stations for more than a minute. I feel like throwing something at the screen.
Yeah, because it's all still Trump, 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 Trump. You know, I read a story today.
Yeah, I mean, like,
they are all hoping Trump actually runs for president again in 2024.
Yeah.
Because then maybe their ratings will go back up.
Yeah.
That's all they can report on.
Is this all we have to talk about on the whole planet? This is all this. Trump did that. Trump said grab somebody's coochie. They're still saying that. Oh, you want a woman hater president? Oh, this is bullshit. I can't stand it. I just can't watch the news. There's nothing.
Trump's going to go to jail any minute. He's going to get indicted. That's all we've been hearing that shit for 5 fucking years now. And it's never happened because there's this goddamn liberal goddamn attorney general and everything else up there in D.C. that's just looking for a crime. They're trying to find one.
Old nonsense.
They can't find one.
They're all trying to.
The people all programmed up again for when he starts to talk. They're just trying to make him irrelevant, and then the majority of Americans know he's not irrelevant.
Yeah,
right.
They're trying to get him on something so that he can't run for president again. That's what they're doing. And New York, I read an article. I saw an article.
That's the whole point.
I saw a headline the other day, last night, while we were on the show, how just before it started, how New York wasn't going to prosecute him. Now they're out saying New York is going to prosecute him. I don't know. All I know is they're going to keep trying, and when he gets back in, they'll impeach him another 2 fucking times for something. If he gets back in, if he even runs. Right now, I don't believe he's going to run. I don't know.
He won't definitively say what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's just kind of still in the game, but I'm not going to tell you what my plans are. So there's that. Keep the liberals on their toes, you know?
Well, first of all, the Republican Party now is pushing DeSantis as the next president of the United States. So I don't know how that's going to work. Personally, I think if Trump won, he would do okay, but they cheated every fucking way possible to keep him out. The last election. What makes anybody believe they won't do the same thing again? They can make all the laws in the world they want. There's people out there called criminals and corrupt assholes that will break them every single time. Okay, laws are something on a piece. It's like a restraining order. It's something on a piece of paper, but it really doesn't protect you from shit.
Yeah, the 2022 midterms are Republicans get their fucking act together and take the House and the Senate, and then Biden has no power at that point. But who knows? Because there's plenty of rhinos still injected into, both houses. You can't trust them. The Romney types and shit like that.
Well, we may lose Susan Collins in the Senate and Murkowski from Alaska because the people in them 2 states are just done with them. But Romney, for some reason, just keeps getting reelected, and I don't get it. I really don't. I really don't.
I just want to see Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer kick the fuck out. Get the fuck out. And then Jerry Nadler, Eric Swalwell, all these rat bastards. Get
all
the
weasels.
hell out.
All the blooming weasels.
Yep.
Lying weasels. That's all they are.
Oh.
And hell, Trump called out Mitch McConnell today. This motherfucker was a dipshit. He was against me the whole damn time.
Yep.
Tried to help him, but he fucked me.
And McConnell needs to go. And what's his name from South Carolina? He needs to go. There's plenty of Republicans that need to go. There's, I mean, how is AOC able to even stay alive? But she has to remember to breathe. I don't get it. Maxine Waters, a completely useless politician and corrupted. All these people. This is the problem. We'll get rid of some of them, but there'll be nobodies, and all the regular people that have all the power will still be there. That's the fucking problem. So, in the end, it does nothing.
Yeah, the same idiots keep voting for the same idiots, and then we're stuck years or whatever.
Oh, excuse me, I was probably my dog.
Yeah, we
what
heard.
did he do? What was so good that he did?
The cat's running around, getting out of the garage, and he
Let's do the pooch cam.
okay. Now he's gonna eat the cat food.
Yeah, he's gonna shit like a pet too.
Hey, get out of that garbage barrel. Here you go.
No, that's where the cat food is. He sticks his head down in there and just chomps down on it.
Yeah, we have to keep the cat food off the floor around here. Poor cats. They barely get to eat because these two mongrel dogs that we got in the house, they eat the cat food before they eat the dog food. And then they get sick off of it because they shouldn't eat cat food.
Somebody told me it's got too much protein in it for dogs. I don't know. He's never got sick or anything. I don't know. Well, he is a superior human being dog, So.
How does your dogs get sick from the cat food? Nick, they get like they puke or explosive diarrhea?
Pick one. Oh. Shit like a pet coon or puke. One or the other.
Lovely.
Because dogs should not eat cat food. No. No. These dogs will go into the cat litter box and eat the cat shit.
I think it's too condensed.
That's lovely.
Cat food. Because they don't eat as much, I think they put more shit in it.
Yeah. And I buy some
Gourmet cat food?
it's science diet. It's doctor prescribed cat food because one of my cats had a urinary tract infection. Said you got to keep him on this one because these cats will get this. So they both eat that
kitty food.
Yeah, and it's like $56 for a fucking 20-pound bag or something.
Oh,
Yeah, they eating my ass out of house and home over here. And the dogs go and eat it if you leave the cat bowl on the floor. Dogs don't eat their own goddamn food. But then I got Dad feeding them from the table, and that gives them the foie as well, so they shit all over the damn place. So I can't win for losing.
Virginia wants to know, is there anything happening with the vote? I don't know if it's more of a vote of a recount. I think it's, a recount, but I think it's being audited as to, what votes were actually legal or fictitious. I don't know what's been going on with that. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, in Arizona, that's supposed to end like next week. But then they're going to extend it to looking at the mail-in ballots and the actual how the ballots were marked to see if it was computer generated. And or hand generated, because you mark a.
Yeah, how many people changed how many ballots were changed without the person's knowledge?
Right, and then they're supposed to check the signatures on the envelopes that the ballots were mailed in with to see if they match. If there's an envelope with no signature, there's a ballot that gets completed at that point. But it amazes me how all the Democrats have like 100 lawyers trying to combat this, to stop it all. Why? If nothing happened, nothing was nefarious, why 100 lawyers trying to block all this shit? I mean, you let the truth come out. They don't want the truth coming out. That's the problem.
Well,
There's plenty of states jumping on board with these audits.
yeah. The problem is, even when they find out that everything was rigged, okay, nothing's going to happen. All right. And they're going to be free to do it again, because they'll always find people that they can pay off and, deal with bullshit, go to jail for them. They don't care. Nothing happens, Virginia. Few people will go to jail, maybe, possibly. Other than that, it's going to be swept under the rug, and that's going to be the end of it. That's how it works. And it's wrong.
Yeah, it's like this one lawyer out of this whole Russian collusion bullshit that, cost us, tens of millions of dollars, taxpayers. They get this one lawyer who changed an email. And then they make a goddamn plea deal with him today. Like, are you serious? I mean, how chicken shit is that?
It's
They
zero.
want to send anybody from Trump team, send them up the river and hang them. It's ridiculous. They're still trying to get Trump in jail and all of his cohorts, his foundation, his companies. Anybody affiliated with him, they want to find something to indict somebody and send their ass to jail because they're so fucking scared Trump's coming back.
They want to make sure that no decent, honest people ever run for president again. It's their own private club, and that's the way they want to keep it.
Exactly. They want to keep company with their peers and no others, believe me.
It's very sad because McConnell, Pelosi, Schumer, they were all up to their necks in it. You know it. They were up to their necks in the Russia bullshit. They were up to their necks in every bit ever happens to these people. And then who's above them? Who's pulling their
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, there, Jerry.
I've been
pulling their string.
People are saying this is so far, Stephen. Yeah, this seems like the first time we've seen it on such a scale. But I've been saying this for decades, and I mentioned this on another show. Every time I see them, we found a pallet of ballots. We found a file cabinet. We forgot about those. These were still at the post office. These fell off the truck. They found them in a ditch. I've been saying this for a long time. They've been cheating all along.
Yep.
Cheating for a long time.
Found this big box of ballots in the back of a car in the trunk. Why the fuck they're there in the first place? Where's the chain of command, so to speak,
Yeah.
how these ballots are getting transferred.
Or a building will burn down, but they won't tell you that those were the Republican ballots that they burned up.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's like this guy from New York, this black guy. He was a delivery driver. Why is he delivering ballots from New York down to wherever the fuck he was going? I don't know if it's New Jersey or wherever the hell he was going. Why from New York all the way down there?
Was he the one that
Does
threw
the
them in the
mail
garbage?
get does
Was
the
he the
mail
one that
get
threw them in the
routed all?
garbage?
No.
Oh.
His truck was loaded with all these ballots, and then he thought it was kind of strange why I'm bringing ballots from New York.
Yeah, how'd they get there?
You know, yeah. I mean, I know if I go to my mailbox in my local city and I stamp an envelope and put it in the mail, it goes about 50 miles away and comes right back to the same fucking place I'm trying to mail it to here in my local city, because that's just the way the routing goes. You can't tell me all the way from New Jersey all the way up to New York City and then comes back again, or wherever the hell he was delivering this shit to.
Nobody.
But then,
Yeah, go ahead.
But then his trailer, which he had his favorite trailer that he liked, and it was loaded with all these ballots. So he parked the trailer, and got his truck out and went home for the day because his time was up. And then he comes back the next day and his trailer's gone. Can't find it anywhere.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. And he testified about all this shit. It's like, my favorite trailer is gone. I knew it was in it. He said, I don't know why I was delivering this shit, but overnight, the trailer was stolen. If you don't think he was being tracked, and he said this shit was chock-a-block full of ballots.
Yeah.
Crooked as a fork.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, Jerry over there.
Yeah,
Remember when Nick wouldn't say shit if he had a mouthful?
yeah.
Yeah, slow down there, Speedy. You might get what you asked for. I'll fucking I'll talk a book and never say a goddamn word.
Talk a book and never say a goddamn word. Okay.
I'm just yanking your chain over there, Nick.
No, I know.
It's good for me. This guy can't get in trouble and nobody hates
Yeah.
him.
Keep your mouth shut. That way nobody gets pissed at you. I'll take it. You know? We're peers there, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm schizophrenic. I don't know if you hear, but don't tell him that. Why not?
Okay. I can go batshit crazy on you if you want that. You don't be schizophrenic around here.
It's a sad situation. Everything is.
Do we have anything to look fucking forward to in this fucking rat race that is happening? I should say, fucking whatever you want to call it.
It's a good question. Your individual self is the only thing.
That's pretty dismal. It's on the merit.
Well,
All we got to look forward. Anybody looking forward to the 4th of July?
Hell yeah.
Come on, to have a party with more than 3 people.
oh, I think we'll.
Christmas and New Year's, my 3 favorite holidays.
I don't really do anything for 4th of July, so I don't really care about it. I mean, yeah, it's nice, I guess. We'll cook something on the grill.
No, yeah, well, down in Oceanside here, the Oceanside birthday is the 3rd of July. So they do the city firework 3rd of July, and then all the surrounding 4th of July fireworks. So we get like 2 days in a row.
Well, it just drives the dogs nuts. Around here, you hear more gunfire than you do fireworks. So
I can attest to that.
yeah, it's kind of a different thing, though, there, Nick. You know, no one's getting murdered here.
Oh yeah, we got Legoland is like I can see them from my back deck. They do a big one. There's some coastal cities that we can see pretty good. It's like a whole night show, but they take turns.
It's nice. You like that sort of thing. I've never been into fireworks, so I don't really care. But
Fireworks are good.
and somehow I knew that about you,
It's
Dave.
free entertainment,
True. It's true. Not really, because the cities are using your tax
They
dollars.
go bang.
Yeah, the cities are using your tax dollars to do it and acting like they're the ones paying for it and giving you a show.
Well, I guess I can put up with that. If they're gonna waste that on fireworks, I can get behind that part.
Yeah, I can see your point. I can see your point.
Yeah, how about the old Mount Rushmore, Biden canceling that bullshit thing with Governor Nome, and she's pissed. It's a whole bunch of bullshit. It's all political.
Maybe 8,000 people should show up and just crash the gates. Maybe 8,000 people should show up and just crash the gates.
Well, they say the National Wildlife Federation or whatever the fuck it is put the kibosh on it because it's sovereign land and the fire hazard. It wasn't last year. What's the fucking difference? Because Biden canceled the damn the application. Said, no, you're not going to have it this year. But then they're going to have one in Washington, D.C., or where the Capitol is, like a mile from the Capitol. That's going to be fun. He said, everybody else, celebrate July 4th, but nope, not South Dakota. It's all political.
Yep. Listen.
Well, how about that recall of Gavin Newsom out here in California? It has not been talked about in fucking 2 weeks.
Well,
because he has magnanimously reopened the state and lifted all the mask mandates now. So he's like, I decree that you're now free, so leave me alone.
Yep. The
he redeemed himself all of a sudden.
apparently the state legislators are trying to make it harder for people to recall them. They're trying to change the rules.
It's so fucking convoluted out here in California. Like all those proposition, this, that, 15, 19, 25, whatever they got.
Proposition H.
You don't even know whatever, but if you're voting yes or no, if it means you're for or against it, you don't even fucking, it's like lawyer fucking talk.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they word that shit on a ballot to where you don't know whether you're voting yes or no. That's just the way they do it. But this, the Newsom recall thing, they got way more than the signatures that they need. Just get the motherfucker out of there and be done with it. But all of a sudden he's redeeming himself. But he's also, as of today, I think it was, setting new travel bans out of the state to other states because they don't agree with LGBTQ plus minus WXYZ.
What are they going to do? Set up a bunch of little checkpoint Charlies and have a little nasty guy standing there? Papers, your papers, please.
Well, it's for state employees with exceptions, depending on the situation. State workers, they won't pay for it and don't acknowledge it. And, you can't do it for state workers, government workers. Anybody else can go, not government workers. Like, okay, slow down there, Speedy. How about you take care of the goddamn shit in the streets and the needles in the streets? You worry about the wrong thing there, ass bag.
This place will never be the same. It'll never be the same. You have that fucking. They don't do anything about the homeless situation, which breeds disease, crime, and blah, 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 you name it. And they don't give a fuck.
Well, they do make it worse.
He's actually delegating millions of dollars to homeless people tents. They just set them up with tents. I'm like, why don't you do something to get them off the fucking street there, asshole? Instead of keeping them homeless. Keeping them voting for your sorry ass. Because you're giving them something free.
Well, yeah, the situation with the homeless people is not that simple. Get them off the street. Because a lot of them have mental illness. They don't really fucking care to be off the street, particularly. It's not like they want to get out of it. Most of them are, I would say, a good deal. That don't strive to get off the street. They don't really give a shit.
Right, you're correct. Yeah, most of them were happy with what their lifestyle is right about now. Why, I don't know. But they're getting fed. They're getting their free needles. They can go to a safe home and shoot up their heroin. They got safe houses that they can go to, and soup kitchens, and they just have no desire to get out of that lifestyle. But some of them really want to, but just can't because of they're hampered by government, so to speak, because of closed businesses and all this nonsense, depending on the state you're in. They're trying to open up everything, certain states, but and they all have help wanted hard now. Sign on bonuses and shit. Motherfuckers don't want to work. I'm like, you serious? I mean, get your ass to work. Get off the government dole.
I don't know. I don't have a clue. Throw money at it, it never seems to reach the point where they're trying to throw it. Goes in somebody's fucking back pocket. I don't know. Maxine Waters' back pocket.
Yeah, throwing shit against a wall and see when it's gonna stick. And actually uphold up the wall. It's never gonna happen. The government, the politicians, are useless pieces of shit, and I don't give a shit what side you're on. They don't care. They want to keep their job. That's all they want because who pays their job to be. They don't actually do a job that actually earns something. The government doesn't earn money. The government collects money. So
Steals.
workers, taxpayers send in the money.
Steve Tolliver's taking off. Good night, Stephen. Thanks for being with us.
Dog cam. Pooch cam.
Ain't he a handsome boy?
Depends on if you're into dogs and stuff. In the worst way.
Well, I didn't get the STD from my cat.
Me either. Nor my dogs. Did you get one from the dog?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Okay, guys. I think we've had enough. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Just kind of was in a mood. Anyway, Match, got any last words? Okay, Nick, how about you?
That was. Any last words? I don't know. I want to remind everybody what you're going to do tomorrow, Jerry. Like,
Oh, yeah, we're going to try to have Jericho Lewis on tomorrow night. And hopefully the sound will be better. We'll see. On Skype, anyway. Nick, how about you? I guess nobody can hear me.
Yeah. Good night, all. Thanks for coming, showing up. See y'all tomorrow night, and it'd be interesting tomorrow night with Mr. Jericho there.
Mm-hmm.
That should be an interesting show.
Hopefully. All right, Dave.
Yeah. Good night, all. I found the show refreshing tonight. I like we covered a few subjects and did a little round table there. I enjoyed it. So I know I may sound prejudiced because I'm just one of the co-hosts, but I did enjoy it. But I'm looking forward to seeing you all Wednesday night. And you all take care until then.
All right.
Bye now.
Thank you, Dave. I agree with you, by the way. All right, guys. So tomorrow night, hopefully, we'll have our guest on. If not, we'll be back anyway, but we'll see. And have a good night. Don't kill anybody. Till tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. Bye.